There's no one around and your phone is dead. Out of the corner of your eye, you spot him.
Shia LaBeouf.
He's following you, about 30 feet back. He gets down on all fours and breaks into a sprint. He's gaining on you.
Shia LaBeouf.
You're looking for your car, but you're all turned around. He's almost upon you now, and you can see there's blood on his face. My God, there's blood everywhere!
Running for your life from Shia LaBeouf. He's brandishing a knife, it's Shia LaBeouf. Lurking in the shadows. Hollywood superstar Shia LaBeouf. Living in the woods, Shia LaBeouf. Killing for sport, Shia LaBeouf. Eating all the bodies. Actual cannibal Shia LaBeouf.
Now it's dark, and you seem to have lost him. But you're hopelessly lost yourself. Stranded with a murderer. You creep silently through the underbrush. Aha! In the distance, a small cottage with a light on. Hope. You move stealthily toward it, but your leg! Ah! It's caught in a bear trap!
Gnawing off your leg.
Quiet.
Limping to the cottage.
Quiet.
Now you're on the doorstep. Sitting inside. Shia LaBeouf. Sharpening an axe. Shia LaBeouf. But he doesn't hear you enter. Shia LaBeouf. You're sneaking up behind him. Strangling superstar Shia LaBeouf. Fighting for your life with Shia LaBeouf. Wrestling a knife for Shia LaBeouf. Stab it in his kidney. Safe at last from Shia LaBeouf.
You limp into the dark woods, blood oozing from your stump leg. You've beaten Shia LaBeouf.
Wait, he isn't dead. Shy surprise, there's a gun to your head and death in his eyes, but you can do jujitsu. Body slam superstar Shia LaBeouf. Legendary fight with Shia LaBeouf. Normal Tuesday night for Shia LaBeouf. You try to swing an axe at Shia LaBeouf, but blood is draining fast from your stump leg. He's dodging every swipe. He parries to the left. You counter to the right. You catch him in the neck. You're chopping off his head now. You have just decapitated Shia LaBeouf.
His head topples to the floor, expressionless. You fall to your knees and catch your breath. You're finally safe from Shia LaBeouf.
Oh, come on. Really? You're not gonna cooperate with me? Scene change? Sup, guys? Fico here, and welcome. Welcome once again to Fico's Gaming Mind. This is going to be a stream where we talk about things that are happening in the world of gaming today. But before we begin, I encourage you guys to tell me how I'm doing with my streams, so hopefully the scene change will work. Really? Uh, the hotkeys don't work. This is weird. They're always working. Uh, well, anyway, we'll just have to do it the. I was hoping to do this with XSplit minimize. So what I'm gonna do is first let you all know that I do have a Facebook page, and it is facebook.com/Fico's Gaming Mind. This is where I kind of used to post all the stuff that I used to do on YouTube. And, well, I'm not doing as much YouTubing anymore, but I am sharing when I'm going on live, if I do a straw poll, and also sharing just flat out all the silliness that I do here. So if you guys like this at all, one bit whatsoever, you guys definitely let me know. And I just realized I didn't get any water. I was so in a hurry to get on. I was just very excited to get on here. So, but anyway, actually, before we get started, let me see. This has been kind of giving me some issues here. Let me just go to the settings because I would like to get this the hotkeys Yeah, all the hotkeys are there. I don't know why. I don't know why they're not working. So, oh, there we go. Now they're working. Okay, so and well, anyway, the reason that I am pimping this page is because at times I don't know how I'm doing, and I'd like to gauge some feedback, and I don't know how the comment section, like the uh, the channel feed works yet. I don't know if anyone else could see the channel feed, but anyway, I'm trying to find a way for all of you guys to, the kind of, just to see how I'm doing. And if you guys got any opinions, let me know there. Or if you go to my main page at the bottom, you'll also see a little Twitter hyperlink that you could click and click on that Twitter, join Twitter, leave me Twitter posts. I am trying my best to definitely get more involved in Twitter because Twitter's my least favorite. So, but anyway, guys, let's begin. This is what I do in this segment. Is basically I take a couple of news stories related to gaming and kind of discuss them. And also, we talk about a couple of other subjects here. And hopefully, my throat will not dry. So, first off, we'll discuss the Labo. This is from Nintendo.com, where it was posted on the 17th, where it discussed Nintendo Labo, Labo. Nintendo Labo, which is, according to them, a new line of interactive build-to-play experiences designed to inspire kids and those who are kids at heart. Building on the 129-year history of Nintendo, which rooted its innovative entertainment and gameplay experiences, Nintendo Labo continues the company's mission and putting smiles on people's faces. This thing didn't take long before people were already making memes on it. Being the internet what it is, it was destined to be made fun of. And when when I did the reaction video to the Nintendo to Labo on the last one, I couldn't help but grasp at the moment. I didn't grasp at the moment, but yeah, this is literally cardboard in which you could and I couldn't and I hearkened to Google Cardboard, and I bet that that's where they got the inspiration, which is basically um it's this thing where you build these pre pre-built things using cardboard, and then you kind of just interact between the Switch and the cardboard units, and then the Switch is involved with the Switch controllers as well. Like it says that here that with each Labo kit, kids can transform modular sheets of cardboard, especially designed to interact with the Nintendo Switch console and Joy-Con controllers, into creations called Toy-Con, from a piano to a motorbike to a robot. And a little skeptical because even though it looks fun, you are selling cardboard. You are selling cardboard. That's what Nintendo Labo is. It's a kit where you can get to make these creations, but essentially it's cardboard. Now, is there something about this cardboard? Is there a conductive material on it? I don't know yet, but apparently uh, there's a couple of examples here. It says you could build a 13-key piano that brings your musical creations to life once the Nintendo Switch console and right Joy-Con controller are inserted. As you play, the IR motion camera on the right Joy-Con detects the keys are pressed and translates them into unique notes that are heard throughout the console. So it's the IR camera that's detecting what you're clicking. So something on the cardboard is detecting that you are doing these? Only that cardboard that Nintendo sells you? Hmm. kind of wondering about that. You can take control of your very own motorbike by constructing a functioning set of handlebars with a Joy-Con inserted on each side of the Nintendo Switch console cradled in the middle. Simply hit the ignition button, turn the right handle to engage the accelerator, watch your adventure legal speak. Reggie, our boy Reggie Fils-Aimé, or Reggie Fils-Aimé, or whatever you want to call him, he said, Nintendo Label continues our long-standing mission of making people smile by surprising them with new experiences. It is an exciting evolution of the Nintendo Switch platform, one designed to inspire curiosity, creativity, and imagination in people of all ages. That definitely looks like it's what it's doing. Don't get me wrong, it looks fun, but essentially this is where I think we're we're kind of focused on, because it says it's launching with two kits. With a variety kit, which basically is where a big bulk of the stuff that you do is all bundled up together, and the robot kit is something separate. So I'm guessing that this is also going to come with with it has to come with games, I think, because if it's not the games, then it basically is cardboard, which you're paying for. Also, it says that you could include fun stencils, stickers, and color tape, which will cost you another $10. Now the variety kit, it's broken down pretty good. It's got the Toy-Con RC car. Um, you've got the ability to make the fishing pole, the house, the motorbike, and the piano, which means that now my question is, can you do all of them, or can you only do one of them? I would think you be able to do all of them. Uh, because it says with the variety kit, you could create many different Toy-Con. But my question is, can you create all of them? So both kits include everything you need to assemble your Toy-Con creations, including the bill of materials and the software. Okay, the variety kit will be available at a suggested price at $69.99, and the robot kit an extra $10. Now, I'm very, very skeptical about this. It's mainly because, as I've said, I mean, what will $70 get you? Will the $70 get you everything, or will it allow you to make one? Hey, Kablami, how's it going? Oh, hey, thanks for joining me. I'm pretty sure most of the expense. Yeah, I was thinking that too. I was thinking that too. If it included the software, it had to be the software. It had to be. I'm actually more skeptical of whether or not the it lets you do everything. I would think it would let you do everything, which I want to look into, because obviously the robot kit is a lot more complex. Because if you saw the video, um, oh, sneak peek, sorry. The robot kit, I mean, it's much more complex. It's like a backpack, and then you got stuff that's attached to your hands. That's a little more complex. But I would think the bulk part of it would be for the software, which means, yeah, it's still $20 to $30 for cardboard, which actually, if you don't think about it too much, well, a lot of these DIY created kits, they tend to cost a little bit of money. And yeah, it's cardboard, but they're making it themselves. It's custom. It's not like they're I mean, it's a little more complex, but at the same time, yes, it technically does look like it's just cardboard. Can you make those with like maybe like a wood cutter or a precise precision cutter or maybe like a laser cutter? I don't know if it'll burn through the cardboard, but if you have the schematics to do Labo, then that's it. You've saved a bunch of money. Um, unless you don't have a laser cutter, which would definitely I would not recommend you to do just to do Labo. But that's why I'm a little skeptical about it. At Kablami, I totally agree. Nintendo definitely has a little more explaining to do, but the fact that they're doing this could it's a good thing. You know, I think it's a good thing. Overall, I do think that it's excessive to ask for that much for a cardboard. I would say $40 would probably be fair, but in my opinion, well, it's sort of like a jumping off point. But again, you know what I would recommend? Just get them a Raspberry Pi kit, or for $100, get them a Kano, which a Kano can actually you could learn how to build your own computer with a Kano, and teach your kids how to program. Teach your kids how to make simple commands that will make LEDs light up. Really cool. Labo, it's I'm lukewarm. I'm not gonna get it. I'm gonna get a Switch. When I get a Switch, I'm gonna get Zelda. I'm gonna get Mario. I'm gonna get a bunch of games, but I'm not gonna get Labo because if I wanted to go into DIY, I just go with the Raspberry Pi. But we move on from cardboard, from cardboard to Metal Gear Survive. As according to WCCF Tech, it says reports that the Metal Gear producer regrets confusion surrounding Survive's spin-off nature, and they said that there's no loot boxes or pay to win. I know, I know, Kablame, I know. I'm not looking forward to Survive. I'll get to my opinions about that in a moment. According to an interview which appeared on PlayStation Magazine, producer Yuji Korikado took the opportunity to apologize to fans regarding the poor communication during Survive and its spin-off nature. Now, I'm pretty sure the fans didn't care about Survive. Sorry, Yuji. Nobody, nobody cares. Fans and gamers in general seem to take Metal Gear Survive to be a continuation of the Metal Gear series, so I regret that we caused that confusion. Well, you should have communicated more because we do nothing about Survive until you guys started talking about that open beta that apparently nobody's liking. um, and also focused on making sure that there are no loot boxes, that there will be no pay to win types of microtransactions, that there will be things like the accessories in Metal Gear Online and forward operating base on Metal Gear Solid 5 The Phantom Pain, and that in the early part of the game you still have a small range that's centered around the base camp, but as you make your way through the game, the area you can explore gradually gets bigger and bigger, and as the area you can explore gets bigger, missions that advance the story appear, as do submissions. And I do not care. I do not care. Let me put myself back again. I do not care. Konami, you are a horrible company. You are an evil, morally bankrupt company that pushed away one of gaming's best directors because you were petty, because you're evil, because you're greedy, and nobody likes you. This game that you're doing, it's nobody cares. Even the hardcore Metal Gear fans are I'm not finding any interest. Nobody's getting piqued by this. Kablami said it best. Oh Christ. Now I don't know if that's a good oh Christ or a bad oh Christ, but I will tell you this. The clips that I've seen from Metal Gear Survive doesn't indicate that it's a terrible game, but it's I don't think it's a game that anybody wants. I don't think that anybody really cares about this game at all. I don't. And frankly, I think that if you care about game developers, you shouldn't get this game either because it's run by Konami, the epitome of people who do not give a crap about their team. And also, I'd like to remind you that if they didn't fall in line, they would get demoted to cleaning their health centers. Yes, or get demoted to go work at pachinko building factories. Put in a line. You can program a game, you can create worlds, you are an artist, you don't like how Konami's doing, they'll demote you to build pachinko machines. Swear to Christ, that's one of the things that they did during the development of Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain. So, you know where to go, Konami. And every chance I get, I do the hashtag F Konami. I heard people say about demoting people, I thought they were joking. Oh no! Oh no! It's been revealed. It's been revealed that they demote you, they berate you, they record you constantly. They monitor you all the time. If you are late from your breaks, they call you out like it's like, and I get it. You shouldn't abuse your breaks if you work, but yes, they abuse. They embarrass you, and everyone there got demoted to contractor, including Kojima. Kojima was separated from his team, so I mean, he couldn't even get involved with his team. But yeah, when I heard that they were being demoted to cleaning gyms, the Konami gyms, the spas, to operate the spas, to build pachinko machines, to operate places that, because Konami is not just video games. They're a corporation that's all around Japan. They do different things. So yeah, people who were hired to make games demoted. It'd be just like if I were where I worked doing what I was doing. If I didn't fall in line with one thing, they demote me to street sweeper. That's about the equivalent. If they had that power, they would do that. So yeah, it's crazy. So when when I heard stuff like that when Metal Gear Solid 5 was in development, I didn't get Metal Gear Solid 5. I haven't gotten a Konami game since. I mean, I got it eventually used because I got it for free after I bought a couple of used games, and that was the game that was free. So I literally didn't pay to get that game, but I didn't get Konami a cent, and I'm not going to give Konami a cent. I'm sorry, Konami, you have betrayed everyone's trust. And you guys deserve the lampooning and the lambasting. And if this game bombs, which I know it will, it's deserving. You guys wanted to quit the gaming industry, but then you saw that Metal Gear Solid 5 was profitable. So we're like, we're not leaving yet. Anyway, let's move on because I'm gonna get a stroke. Thank you for sticking with me, Kablame. I do hope that you like this. I do stream video games in the evenings, but once or twice a week I like to do this segment because I used to do this in my YouTube channel, and I really dig talking about what's going on in the gaming world. So there is this thing that's going to be premiering or made already premiered. Oh, actually no, it's going to premiere on February 17th, where there's revealing something's called Project X that's going to have a 400 player battle royale mode. Apparently, apparently this automaton developer automaton is trying to create this game that had like 1,000 player online game with a 400 person battle royale PvP game. But apparently, on the Saturday at London at February the 17th around midday, they're going to take the stage. This is badly written, in which they're going to be revealing just that. And it says that Project X is going to be powered by something called Spatial OS, which is by a company called Improbable, which allows for meaningful presence that can apparently enhance the level of simulation in games. In the case, that means wildlife, muddy tracks, spreading wildfire, and dynamic water. Well, I hope you have two graphic processing cards, two GPUs, because you're going to need it. Um, yeah, and then this says that you're on this island and it's set in the near future, and that there is a reason you're all there. There's a central capital which runs the area. You're a four faction towns in which different agendas. They either want to live there or want to make the best of what they have, or they're really trying to take over. And you're part of the set of people who have come in, and you are going to be able to overthrow the whole regime. So it kind of sounds like global agenda, except that you're mixing PUBG there as well too. This is definitely very exciting, and this is on something that's called a PC Gamer Weekender. There's a reason you're all there. It does sound kind of interesting. Whereas PUBG is kind of like, you know, yeah, you're all just gonna get dumped into an island, kill yourselves. Yeah, I'll do it, but why? In the movie Battle Royale, there's a reason. In the Hunger Games, there's a reason. Even in the Condemned, there's a reason. When PUBG is just for fun and Fortnite is just for fun, which is fine. You don't need reasons to, for everything in a game, as long as the gameplay is fun. But giving us a reason, like a setting, is actually is very good. Whereas in PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds has given us no reasons. So I'm definitely keeping an eye on that. So we'll see what happens. I said that there were going to be more PUBG clones or PUBG dethroners, kind of like how World of Warcraft came out and every big MMO that was being announced, it was like, oh, this is going to be the next WoW killer, or this is going to be the next WoW killer. Well, PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds, it just got released on full copy, so that's what a lot of people don't realize is that PUBG is actually a game that it was in early access for a very long time. It just got released. So everything you've been seeing, the craze, was all a game in development. Now it's where it has to prove itself. So, but on to the next one, which is going to be the hints. There's hints. Hints of a possible Red Dead Redemption 2 release date. This has been reported by the Nerd Mag, which apparently already I'm hearing stuff about Take-Two, because Take-Two said that they're going to incorporate microtransactions in their games. So Red Dead Redemption 2 apparently has a is apparently looks like it was released. The release date was leaked, and it says here, like in January 24th, 2008, Grand Theft Auto 4 was announced, and then it looks like they have this kind of sort of like a pattern of stuff that they've announced. So yeah, I have never played. I've never actually played Red Dead, so I'm hoping that they do that. So oh no. So yeah, so they definitely hinted on Twitter. So let's see here. According to the developments, looks like they're working full throttle on Red Dead Redemption 2, so it might take a while. RDR2 is done and ready to deploy, man. Nope. Bug fixing session is going on. Really, peeps? I know told me it's out by Q2. Anyway, I still haven't played the first one. God damn it. So it looks like this is supposed to be conversation between a roommate and a supposed Rockstar employee that lives in Bangalore. Rockstar India? Really? No, and apparently it keeps interacting back and forth. It says, as long as the results are something to be proud of, it said it's pretty dope. And it says 2018 is going to be expensive. As sure it is. I will just hijack my goodie bag with a DVD too. So yeah. So apparently, it's a little fishy. I agree. I agree. Now there's just something that's kind of definitive where apparently Red Dead is, well, first of all, I don't know what the TNM is. I just found it on the Reddit subreddit boards, but it is apparently they're suggesting it's going to be out by next year. Apparently, um, and the thing that they have is they like to announce games around April or May. So this could be true, but I mean, which is why I said that the release date was hinted. Thankfully, they didn't outright say it was confirmed. And Red Dead Redemption 2, I'm a little, I don't know, because I saw a report where Take Two were apparently looking into capitalizing on microtransactions, and they want that. And of course, some people even suggested that they're gonna have like a Red Dead Redemption version of GTA Online, which, you know what, as long as it doesn't interfere with the main game, that's cool. But of course, I mean, they're still microtransactions. I mean, if you and everybody gets invested in it, then you have no right to complain about them because you're investing in them. So if you don't want to, just don't play that mode, don't buy the microtransactions. But um, this is a little fishy, but so far maybe it's quarter two, so we're talking around the summertime. I have a feeling, uh, un- unless within the next couple of weeks or months they don't say anything, we're gonna get a release date announcement on E3. Is there any big events between then and E3, I wonder? They could reveal it by then. What I hope is that it comes out this year. And what I also hope is that they make a PC version of Red Dead 1 because I would love to play that game. And I would love to play this game too. The Resident Evil 2 remake. A Resident Evil 2 remake. See, I was hoping to get this around the time of the Nintendo GameCube when they made Resident Evil, the Resident Evil remake, uh, and when they made Resident Evil 0. And when they didn't, they just re-released Resident Evil 2 and 3 on they were like the PC versions. But uh but apparently the Resident Evil 2 directors Hideki Kamiya, according to Gear Nuke, is very confident, and I'm hoping for so much, so much. Apparently, it's still a mystery, but the original directors, Hideki Kamiya, which also directed games like Bayonetta, which I'm very much looking forward to, Bayonetta 3. He said he's confident in the direction of the game and that he's trusts the development team, and that's great. Because Hideki Kamiya, uh, he's he's honest and he can be blunt about stuff. But this is what he said. He says that will be way better, RT, Resident Evil 2 is a masterpiece. Hope Remake 2 will be the same. No way, RT. Sorry if this had been asked before, but have you seen any Resident Evil 2 remake, Kamiya-san? I heard that my friend is directing RE2 remake. Let's trust him and wait for a new information. I went drinking with him last year and I told him, do as you like. That's the way directors should do. I trust him and his team, RT at Evil Gaming Night. Do you think they will do your game justice? It's not necessary, RT. Even if you aren't officially involved, has anyone working on the RT2 come to you for advice on it? And it looks like a lot of people were asking him, the original director was like, are you worried that they're going to butcher you? Are you worried that they're going to butcher the creation? And then he said, well, thank you for lots of messages. RE2 was the first game I directed. I was young and immature, but worked furiously. It brings back a lot of memories. Mikami told me to make my name bigger in the end credit because I was a director, but I thought it was too much for me, so I used obliques to type. Mikami was like, you're joking. I asked a programmer to make mirror system to reflect enemies in it, but after all the enemies appeared breaking through the mirror, I was like, I'm sorry. The present problem is I'm really interested in how RE2 Remake will be, but I hate horror games, so how do I play it? Okay, so basically this year marks the 20th anniversary of that game, and Resident Evil 2 was the first Resident Evil game I played, and it was a game that just blew me away. And I do hope that the remake comes out this year, although we haven't gotten any announcements. So, barring a previous E3 event, I don't know when Tokyo Game Show is. I think it may be before, or Leipzig or Gamescom. I don't know when those are. If they're before, they want an announcement. Yeah, I remember the first time that I saw Resident Evil 2, I think I was in middle school or just about to get out of elementary school, I think. And I was at a math tutor, and the math tutor had a son, and the son, first of all, that guy got me into anime by showing me Dragon Ball Z, so I have him to thank for my love for anime. And he showed me Parasite Eve, which I absolutely went crazy when he showed it to me. But he showed me the open cinematic of Resident Evil 2. And it blew my mind. And he told me, take the controllers. And I started to play. And that was the first experience I had with a survival horror game with Resident Evil 2. I've been immersed in Resident Evil ever since. It's gone through a couple of complex moments. I have not played Resident Evil 7 yet, so I don't know if it's worth getting or not, but I heard it was great. So I do hope that when they release the edition that has everything, I will get it on PC, play it, love it. But it does look like it's a return to form. But Resident Evil 2 has a spot in my heart. And I do hope that when Resident Evil 2 comes out, not only will it be good, but I hope that it's better and it inspires to go back and remake the other ones like Resident Evil 3 Nemesis, which I liked, but you know what? I'm not against remaking things. I'm not. As long as they add a better way to play it, uh, it's unnecessary maybe, but you know what? Resident Evil 2 is one of the reasons why I love playing horror games. So we need this game. Kablami, we seriously do. So if you like what you're seeing so far, I encourage you, if you're not following me already, give me a follow, and also set the click to show you where I'm going online. So that way, we could continue discussions of this with other things the news that comes out. I do plan on doing reactions. Whoa, what was that? it works! It works! The notification works! Thank you! Oh, my friend. Sorry, emotional. I'm getting emotional. My friend Matt helped me set up Streamlabs, and I was concerned that it wasn't working, and it works. Thank you for the follow. I really appreciate it. Thank you, man. I would like to see a Resident Evil remake teaser at E3 in the same vein as the Resident Evil 7 teaser, simply for the audience reaction. You know, some people. Oh, you know what? Some people say that don't take those too seriously because they're just trailer footage. I would love if they were focused more on doing gameplay trailers. But yeah, I would love that. I would love that very much. So, actually, you know what? I just realized that the alert box, I have to put it on all my scenes. So thank you for the follow because now I'm remembering to do stuff for all of my XSplit scenes. So, but anyway, let's go to a little oops. Oops. This is from Kotaku. Uh, Ubisoft accidentally releases Assassin's Creed Origins DLC a week early, removes it. This Assassin's Creed expansion is called The Hidden Ones, where apparently you have this is one of two major DLCs that are currently announced, which focuses on the event, which is set 4 years later after the main story, and then apparently it also raises the level cap to 45 by adding new outfits. But it was supposed to not be out for about another week, and then Ubisoft released it a week early. But while it's not due to another week, some players already managed to access it on Xbox One through an in-game store after the game's latest patch rolled out earlier today. Yeah. So, and of course, they haven't responded for a comment by Kotaku, but a post one of the company's community managers on his forums later today to confirm that the mix-up and it had taken place and it was certain Xbox One owners already downloaded it. The Hidden Ones expansion was unintentionally made available on Xbox One earlier today for some players before the January 23 release date. This happened due to a misconfiguration in our in-game store and it has been corrected. Which is fine. Which means that now you're getting it today. And apparently this is the Ubisoft passed on the following response, which said earlier today the Hidden Ones DLC was unintentionally made available early on some Xbox players. We've removed the DLC from the game store. However, players who already downloaded the DLC are still able to play it. These players will be known as the lucky ones. Oh, Ubisoft, you are so funny. The The Hidden Ones DLC will be available for all Season Pass owners and can be purchased separately for $9.99 on January the 23rd. So, in other words, thank you. Thank you for releasing it earlier. But this is no big deal. Apparently, this is. I haven't played Assassin's Creed for years, but I do know that Assassin's Creed Origins apparently is one of the better ones. I don't know if you've played Assassin's Creed Origins, Kablame, you want to tell me if it's good or not. But honestly, I kind of got sick of them. And Ubisoft overall releasing games in a broken state, I don't like that. But if you care, well, I'm happy that you got the game early, but if you're not, then that's fine because today is the release day, so you'll get it today. I mean, it's cool that they released it, but it's Assassin's Creed, so I haven't bothered to play a Creed game for a while. What was the last Assassin's Creed game that you played? Kablame. Which one was it? What was the last Assassin's Creed game that you played that was like, oh, somebody's calling me. uh, oh, it's an unknown number. It's an unknown number. I don't care. I thought it was somebody important. But anyway, my last Assassin's Creed game that I played was Brotherhood, and I didn't get invested in Assassin's Creed 3. I wanted to get Black Flag because I heard it was really good. And then the one that they were, the one before the one that they were at London, Unity. When I saw Unity, how broken it was, I was like, uh-uh. No, 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 no. And then the one that was in London, the one when you played as the twins, that one I didn't get invested in. And then they went on a hiatus. The movie came out, it bombed. But yeah, it was Assassin's Creed 2 was the last one I beat. Assassin's Creed uh 2 Brotherhood was the last one I actually played. So, Nick Gers 34. It's my birthday. Hey. Well, happy birthday. Happy birthday, man. And well, hello. Hello. Yeah. Well, thank you. Thank you. I am Fatter Drake. That's right. That's right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Jesus. Right. Well, Wins Kazor, thank you for the acknowledgement. But that I do look like someone famous. I've been told that I don't see it. But anyway, the next thing we're going to talk about is Crytek, which is apparently hit back with CIG's request to dismiss Star Citizen's legal case. Star Citizen is a game where I never really got into, but apparently the documents are still going back and forth, and apparently the case is being dismissed. There's this. It's a really muddy case. Wow, the chat is active. Uh, would you jerk off in that? Nick Gers, thank you. Thank you for the following. Thank you. Oh my god. Am I hypnotizing? I want to drink your sweat for some reason. I don't know if to be flattered or creeped out, man. But thank you. It's my birthday. I'm alone at home and bored. I wish I had friends. Well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you're I'm sorry if they hear that, man, but you know what? If it's your birthday and you're alone, do you have a car? Go out, man, and have some fun. Do some stuff. Get out, do something crazy. But I'm glad that you're joining me here. And Creps TDD, thank you for joining in. Thank you. Star Citizen was Sphere Earth propaganda. Fucking nonsense. Hey! Ramofi, thank you for the follow. Thank you. Thank you. Always hungry. What are you saying? Yeah, drive your car off a cliff? Come on. Really? No. Don't tell him to do that. No. Uh. Man. It's only 11:05 in the morning. Jeez. I want to talk about Star Citizen. I'll talk about Star Citizen, but anyway, yeah. There's this. I'm gonna post this. This is a PC Invasion article, which is basically which is fine. They go into details about the dismissal. Apparently, there was this case where apparently Winky, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. But no, 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 no. To be fair, I haven't posted any rules, but But thank you, Nick. I will update the rules. I'll add some rules. You know what? I'm fairly lenient when it comes to, like I would say, I'm fairly lenient with some things. But I know it's just effing around. But as Krep says, Star Citizen was probably a scam to clean up corrupt government money. Well, Star Citizen has been the what I find is so fascinated about Star Citizen is all the money that they raised. And apparently, Star Citizen is a thing which apparently has always hungry. Thank you. Oh my God, guys, this is awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, you've wow. Well, Winsky. It does Winsky. It does. It's a pretty game. That and Elite Dangerous. You played Elite Dangerous? Because I've heard Elite Dangerous was pretty swanky too. I've seen people do these really crazy, uh, um, full room simulation joystick things where they were like just crazy. I mean, it was crazy. But Star Citizen does look like it's weird that they're still getting millions upon millions, but then apparently Crytek, there was some issue where Crytek where they dumped Crytek the Cry engine, and but apparently they couldn't, but apparently they threw that case out. So I'm sorry to hear that. But Star Citizen has been just this one thing that I've been just kind of indifferent to. But Star Citizen is a pretty looking game. It's a really pretty looking game. Now, is it worth getting? I have no idea. It's got this. I heard. I correct me if I'm wrong, but there's like this one thing that is worth like in the game, like real money, thousands of dollars, like thousands of dollars. Like there's just one microtransaction that's worth thousands. If that's true, I hope it's not true because that's incredibly not good. Now it says here that it goes into more detail. The documents here is full length, which is specific areas that there were links to forum posts made by CIG and that other cases were precedent for copyright infringement. Apparently, the court decides in favor of Crytek remains to be seen, but this case is heard in court. It's going to be one to watch because as more documents have appeared, it's more confusing as time has come. And I will leave links to all of this. I will leave links to all of this. And furthermore, thank you for the follows. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Nick. Thank you, Winky. Thank you, Always Hungry. Thank you, everybody. But yeah, I heard that there was like the microtransactions in that game are bonkers. They need to calm down because you don't want to get to another evil level of tier that is beyond EA levels. And that was the last article to come to discuss. It kind of derailed a bit, didn't it, with all of the talk? But thank you. And Nick, hope that I do hope that you find something calm. Oh, yeah, it's that game, Battlefront, Battlefront 2. I'm actually super happy that that game is going through that much controversy. Thank you. And this is the part of the game of the cast where I take stuff that I find from the true gaming subreddits. These are sort of like discussion questions, which I just took a couple. If you guys want to join me, thank you. This isn't like game articles or anything. This is more like discussions. So it says, I take a subreddit and they pose a question, and they just kind of leave their thoughts. This one is on what makes a game charming, and this is by Nuggets Window, which says playing through Professor Layton and the Azeran Legacy now, and the game just oozes with charm, perhaps more than any other game I've played. It's got me thinking about what makes a game world charming. One common thread in a world where the NPCs are obsessed with something quirky in Layton's puzzles. There is Pokemon. Zelda usually has elements of this with Kuko's, Katamari. Obviously, art style is the is a big element, though I'm not sure how articulate exactly how it comes to play. Any other thoughts? Okay, so what is the most charming game you know of? Hmm. What's the most charming game that I know of? I'd say, oh my. God, that's a tough question. I didn't even think about it. But you know what? Zelda, I like that it's charming because of things like uh like the Kukos are cute. I do like that the game has this whimsical music majority of the time when you go to a place. It's just happy music. Right now, a really charming game that I'm playing is Okami. Okami has a lot of the characters have always this comedic tone to them. They have this um they're always like joyous, and their faces, they just flap up and down. So also the animals are adorable. Oh yes, the animals. You feed animals. You go and then you feed these little baby animals, and every time they show you and then the animal eating the food that you've given them, and they're just eating it, and it's adorable. Absolutely, absolutely adorable. I love it. I think that is the most charming game that I've played recently. So I think that will be my answer. I think Okami is one of those games that, while it has a serious story, it's definitely got so much charm, and the art style is very appealing too. It's its own element of charm, like Zelda: The Wind Waker, where a lot of people hated that art style, but they've gravitated to it. So I'd say it's got to be Okami right now. But if I were gonna pick the most charming game that I know of, there are a couple that I would put. I would put that one, Zelda: The Wind Waker. I would also pick Little Big Planet because it's adorable. Little Big Planet is beautiful. I I love Little Big Planets. It's just the music. The Sackboy is this adorable little thing that you can like make it raise its arms and do all sorts of stuff, and I love it. So the next thing we're talking about is it good or bad game design for bosses for multiple phases? This falls in with Okami because, and I just got done finished watching Cuphead, which Cuphead is a game which has a boss rush, which is boss rush mode, where a lot of it is just multiple phases. Now, I'm going to give my answer in a moment, but let's read what Shadow Yui says. Usually, when it comes to bosses with multiple phases, you'll usually have to restart the entire boss if you die, or in any of these phases, regardless of whether or not you actually defeated the first few phases. Thing is, when it comes to this means that the player is severely limited to practicing on a phase on a boss that they can only learn if you go through the first phase, and if they die multiple times on the second phase, then that means they have to go through the entire first phase over and over again if they want to practice in the next phases, regardless if this takes a few minutes per phase or not. However, if you get to save between boss phases, these act like their own separate boss fights, and the player can focus on these bits one at a time and wouldn't be subject to tedium from doing the previous phases that they have already completed over and over again. So that makes me think of Zant, or the Ganondorf fights in the later uh, Zelda games, where you take against his phantom, where you take against him, where you take against his ultimate form, when you take against another thing. That's actually fine. But I don't think that multiple phase bosses in itself is a bad way of game design, because Cuphead is basically every boss is a multiple phase thing. Now, the key with Cuphead is you are trying to go through the phases little by little, and some of them have multiple bosses. The one that I think the most is Baroness von Bonbon, which is the one that you take against the castle, which has the Cupcake Man that flips, the Pac-Man gumball, Mr. Waffles, the candy corn of Doom, and then you have to go through uh three of those. I think it's three of those. One, two, yeah, three of those. And then you have to go against her, which is multiple phase. And I spent about an hour trying to beat that boss the last time I beat Cuphead, and it was just absolutely awful. Awful, but it felt so rewarding to beat. And I guess the thing that annoys him, and it kind of annoys me, is that the patterns constantly change, but the patterns are not unbeatable. The patterns are simple, like the cupcake, just jump and then just left splash damage. The gumball just follows you. Mr. Waffles just flies in and he bursts out. So it does one thing. But then it's when you start getting through every single one of them, it's when you start to go through like, okay, so the phases get difficult, much more difficult. That's part of what Cuphead is it's a charm about that game. Ha! But that game is not charming. It's absolutely demonic. This is the face of evil. This thing is the face of evil. And that game is not charming one bit whatsoever. Don't play it. I'm kidding. Cuphead is actually a really great game, but I mean, I don't think that either one of those two designs are bad. Multiple phase bosses, like for instance, like sometimes in Final Fantasy, you will take against a boss multiple times throughout the game, and they have multiple phases. That's not a bad thing. But a part of the challenge is to be able to adjust fast to those phases, not just have to die constantly. Um, Actually, you know what? I do agree with him, but it's not necessarily bad, and it's still very rewarding. So, if you think that whichever one you prefer, Kablame, or whoever's still listening, let me know. Do you think it's good or bad game design to have bosses with multiple phases? When you die, it takes away all of your progress, and then you're back to the beginning. Do you think that? Or do you prefer Cuphead style, which is like if you're in the last phase, you die and then it's over. And then because when I did my last run, it took me a few hours just to beat the devil, the last boss, and it was infuriating. But when I beat him, it was the best thing ever. So, that's part of the challenge. So, the second to last thing we're going to talk about today is how do you justify playing many games to those who mainly stick with playing just one game? And then this is done by Johan Joe John Eiley. Joe and Eiley. I think I prefer the Cuphead style of starting from the beginning, but it really just depends if challenge is the point. Yeah, it does. I think it's a good point. Cuphead in itself is done to provide the challenge. That's the whole basis of the game. The game is for you to experience a challenge, and the challenge is that if you fail that first phase or that last phase, is that you have to kind of observe the patterns. But at the same time, when you're dying and dying and dying and you're frustrated and you don't know what to do and you're so angry, it's that you don't see those patterns. So maybe like having like continue from that point on wouldn't be a bad thing. but it kind of also takes the point of the challenge. The challenge is to progress from one phase to the next one, seeing those patterns, act on them, don't repeat them. A lot of the times that I died was my fault. It was all mistakes that I did because of things that I didn't see. And I was so enraged just trying to beat the boss that it felt like I was just trying. I was like, oh, I'm going to beat this guy. I'm going to beat this guy. I'm going to beat this guy. But I didn't focus on the patterns. And apparently, the last boss, there is a pattern, and I just didn't see it because I was so mad. I was just so mad, and I hated it. I hated that boss so badly. Also, you could see my struggles if you go back to my other playthroughs in my previous videos. It's the very last Cuphead video. If you wish to watch me suffer trying to beat the Dice King and the Devil for a couple of hours, be my guest. I would not recommend that. Okay. Edit. Thanks a lot for the input, guys. I was wondering how you guys would react in this my situation. Usually, when the conversation comes up, I do the new experiences thing most of the time. You guys are right. You play to have fun, and playing a single game to become the best of it is just not fun for me. Context. The way I play video games is I always have a to finish game on my to do list. Right now it's Hollow Knight, and put filler games in between, i.e., games that I could be picked up and played without a really large time commitment. Dota, Overwatch, CSGO. At the moment, I'm usually playing Heroes of the Storm in between games. My friends, however, do really share my modus in terms of playing games and mainly stick to just playing whatever is popular right now. Most of them play PUBG and CS:GO. Sometimes when we play together, CS:GO in this case, I sometimes have off games where I don't do well, and my friends usually attribute it to me playing a lot of different games, which then leads to conversations about, man, what I like the most about X game is that I could just play it forever and it'll never finish. Or how can you call yourself a gamer if you're not loyal to a single game? Well, this is a direct response to your friends. I'm like, the heck are you talking about? Why is it that you can't? So you're saying that if you only play one game, that makes you a true gamer? So that means if I want to play just one game like Overwatch, if I'm playing Overwatch all the time, that means that I'm a true gamer? No. No, here's my thing. I I am streaming playing Okami. That's the game that I'm streaming right now, Okami. In between, I'm playing Overwatch, Heroes of the Storm. I'm also playing Dark Souls. Those are filler games. And also, I'm playing games that I'm just kind of trying to see at whether I want to play them on stream or not. I mean, there are a couple of games that I want to play. To me, a gamer is not the game that you play, it's the fun and the passion that you have. It's the dedication that you have to playing video games, your love to them. That's what makes you a gamer. And you know what? Simply put it, if you want to get more simplified towards that, gamers basically being a gamer means you just love playing video games. You don't have to be committed to just one particular thing. Like in this case, these guys are like, you know what? You could be so great if you were playing this game. Or in my case, I just be like, oh, I wonder if I would be like diamond level Mercy if I kept on playing and playing pro and pro and pro. And there's no problem with playing that if that's all you play. But the thing is that playing just one game kind of limits things. Because if I'm playing Overwatch, then I'm not playing Okami, I'm not playing Turok, I'm not playing Cuphead, I'm not playing Monster Hunter, I'm not playing Dark Souls, I'm not playing. I mean, there's hundreds of games that I have in my library, and I also just wish listed Final Fantasy XII The Zodiac Age for the PC and Final Fantasy 15 the Windows edition. So those are two games that are probably coming down the pipe later down the road when I'm streaming. So if I'm playing is Heroes of the Storm and all these games that are that are just you just never finish them. and they're just playing over and over, like League of Legends, which I love League of Legends. It takes you from the experience. In fact, if I were to reverse engineer the comments from your friends, I'd say it kind of makes you less of a gamer because it's limiting you as a gamer. You don't get to see what an RPG is like. You don't get to see what an action game is like, a first-person shooter is like, unless you're playing CS:GO, which is all you're seeing, which means that you're getting limited from other games, that you don't get to see their stories, you don't get to see characters, you don't get to play any other games. The same goes as with console versus PC. It's very limiting to just do one because you're only just doing one and you're missing out on the others. Do both if you could afford it. I've tried being loyal to certain games, but quite frankly, it loses its fun factor. It's no longer about playing or having fun. It kind of becomes a job. There's a person I know that works with me that only plays World of Warcraft. He he got a bonus and he purchased himself a really awesome laptop, but all he plays is World of Warcraft. He got himself Overwatch and he uninstalled it. And he went back to playing World of Warcraft. And I'm like, but dude, it doesn't make any sense. You put in thousands of dollars. You put in thousands of dollars on this computer, but all you're playing is WoW. I mean, isn't the point of playing with a computer like this for you to have fun? Uh, uh, to play other games. And he also bought Doom as well too, and he uninstalled it because he just went back to playing World of Warcraft. So in other words, it does kind of become a chore when all you're playing is the same game. But if you're having fun playing, then hell yeah, go at it and have fun and keep playing that game and you be you. But your friends are, unfortunately, they're wrong. I mean, they sound like they're young, so we'll forgive them. So whatever, man. But whatever. Anyway, the last thing that we're going to talk about today is another one, which is called the Stardew Valley effect. And then this is by Death Nuts, which he says, or she says, Stardew Valley is an amazing game, but let's be frank, it's Harvest Moon. Stardew Valley picked up a game series that had produced an uninspiring and underwhelming sequels, though pretty much to be dead, and brought it back to life. A rebirth. I think Shovel Knight might have done this too. Could be why we're getting a new Mega Man finally? Woke the Sleeping Giant? My question is, what other game genres would be great if it was given a rebirth? First game that comes to mind for me is Lemmings. Not quite the epic, but a mechanic that's vanished with that series. So he's attributing. So Stardew Valley, based upon what I've seen, seems to be a game that is littered with nostalgia when it comes to, with games like Harvest Moon. That's why people are sort of just gravitated towards Harvest Moon, because this is a thing that apparently it blew up, and it blew up for everybody. Now the thing about games like that, the reason that it's done right, it's because it's not just taking what it was done before, but they did it right and they did it better. And a game that like Shovel Knight did, like, broke the mold in terms of like, oh, we can make these games that were of an older style come back again. People like these kind of games. And I wouldn't say that that's why we're getting a new Mega Man game, but who knows, maybe. A game that I would love, a game genre or a game that I would love to see this new resurgence be given a rebirth. Hmm. I'd say uh, it's tough because there's so many great games coming up. But if it were me, I'd say I'd say I really like Star Tropics. I would love that. Star Tropics is a game that I played on the NES, and it's kind of sort of like a hybrid between a dungeon crawly Zelda game with an overworld RPG feel to it, which you do quests. So you have that game where you're like increasing your yo-yo, you're increasing your ability to play, your weapons and all that stuff. And frankly, in my opinion, uh, there are a lot of RPGs that either go full RPG or full action game. If it's an action game, maybe bring them both together would be great. Another mechanic, I never dug Lemmings, so that's not something I'd like to see back. If it comes back, great. But but yeah, a game kind of like Star Tropics would be nice. Which you just wait. We're getting a Secret of Mana game, so we're getting that game. So that was a little lame duck of a question. I'm sorry, but genres I would love to see it given a rebirth. I would like to see I like to see shoot 'em ups get a rebirth. Like games like Gradius. Give them a new coat of paint. Like maybe just not the side scroller. And kind of like Nier Automata kind of sort of did that, where they implemented. Nier Automata did just have shooting elements, but incorporated with RPG, with storytelling. But maybe a storytelling game that featured the mechanic of just being a shoot 'em up. That would be great. Um, how about, because we're getting a lot of those. Um, RPGs are a thing that will never go away. So the question is, what other games or genres would be great if they were given a rebirth? Hmm. Well, we're getting the rebirths so far. Like Shovel Knight was the side scroller, like a la DuckTales, and then we've got games like Stardew Valley. We're getting dungeon crawlers like roguelikes, like Enter the Gungeon, The Binding of Isaac. That's all stuff that's straight out of the Zelda universe. And this is a very tough question, but honestly, if I was to, if my fantasy one would be Deus Ex like games. Deus Ex like games would be like, for instance, like if you get a first person shooter and then you get like the freedom to do everything you want. Deus Ex 1 kind of games, that would be more like that. Gives you a lot more freedom. But even Deus Ex couldn't do Deus Ex all that right, because Mankind Divided apparently ended on a sour note. But honestly, it is a tough question. So if you have an answer you want to give me the next time I stream, I will definitely do it. um, Stream is actually, you know what? Let me add let me do one quick note here. Add add stream labs to all scenes. Okay. Wiz Ahead of Time is a step in the right direction. A big popular reverb of the collectathon genre a la Banjo-Kazooie would be neat. A Ahead in Time, I just found out about that game, and I'm hearing so much good stuff about it that I'm definitely going to be getting Ahead in Time. Uh, w- uh, Ukulele tried to do it, but I think they didn't get the spirit quite right. So Ukulele had the look of a Banjo Kazooie collectathon, just didn't do it quite right. But that was a start. But A Hat in Time looks very interesting. I definitely am thinking about, like, A Hat in Time would be something that I would totally like to get. I would like to get A Hat in Time. Actually, I have it wish listed. So I will be, if it goes on sale, the minute that it goes on sale, I'll definitely go and get it. So that will be it. That's actually a really good question. And the rebirth, it looks like the rebirth. I'm not so sure if it'll happen, but it'd be good. I mean, we got a Banjo Kazooie game, but it was all about cars. Wasn't that good. It really wasn't that good. But A Hat in Time is a step in the right direction. So I'm glad that. I mean, it went under the radar. I don't know how I didn't know about A Hat in Time, but it looks interesting. So too many people are giving that game really great reviews. So it's definitely not a game that I'm going to skimp out of. So I'll definitely consider putting A Hat in Time in the rotation. So anyway, I thank you so much. I'm going to be ending the stream in just a second, but I've got my links to my Facebook page. So if you want to drop by here, you just uh, get rid of that. And if you like, yeah, I'll give it a follow here, and I'll post it here. And so yeah, you can follow me, and you give me ideas of games you'd like me to stream. Right now, I'm playing Okami, and once I'm done with Okami, I'm considering just jumping into Prey or Pyre or I mean, there are a couple of games that I'd like to jump into. I was playing Turok 2, but I'm now a little lost in that game, so I might jump back into it later. Some people even suggested that I jump into a game like another Rage game, like Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy, and I'm like, no. No, no, no. I'm not right. I'm not ready for that game. So, we're going to the 80-minute mark with the stream, and I do have to start like putting stuff down so that I could get ready to go to work here in a few minutes. But is there anything else is there anything else you want to ask Kablame? Anything else you're interested in talking about, or like anything game related that's on your mind? We talk about it a little bit and have a little mini conversation. So so I'll give you a few moments to see if there's anything you'd like to talk about, and after that, I do have to. Oh, so it's late. You're late. It's late where you are. Okay. So wow, you're probably on the other side of the world right now. Or are you working you working night shift and that's what it is. Well, I am Australia. Well, oh, it's 2:40 in the morning. I'm sorry to keeping you up so late, but I am I'm so touched that you stayed up to listen, and you saw all the random stuff that happened in the chat. I'm actually super happy today. I'm very happy that today is a better day because I got a couple of new followers. But thank you, especially for you for sticking with me. And I hope that you have the indicator that if you're watching it on the app, you could check it so that you get notified when I'm going live. I'm gonna try to see if I could do the streams earlier, but right now I'm in America, so right now it's 11:40 in the morning. So and I work during the second shift, but I'm gonna get switched to an earlier shift. So it might be a little difficult, but I do stream a lot more during the weekends. So I'll try my best to do more consistently. I do appreciate you following me, and I encourage you to look at the past footage. So I'm gonna let you go. Thank you very, very much for joining me, and thank you for the follow. And I really appreciate you in the conversations. And as always, we're going to go ahead and actually, you know what? I am going to copy. I'm going to paste. Aw, thank you. Paste as a new source. There you go. I've added the new follow on the face cam. So thank you thank you so much. Thank you that you think it's just a cool stream. Thank you for the follow. And I really appreciate it. I hope you have a great day. 2:40 in the morning, man. Thank you. So I will go ahead and let you go. And I will drop the stream now. So thank you so much for everyone that followed me today, especially to Kablame, Australia. Whoop whoop. Australia's where it's at. And thank you so much for all of this and for the follow. And you stay cool, man. And I'll catch you on the next time. Hopefully it'll be the next time that I do this. I'll do another one this week. So thank you so much for watching, everybody. And as always, my name is Fico, and that was my gaming mind. Peace out, everybody.
It's so beautiful. The elegance, the story of why I love space. Oh, that's so cool, so cool. My computer can't handle the rendering. Oh, that's so cool, so cool. Oh, it's so pretty, so pretty. There are billions and billions of stars. Oh, look, there are billions and billions of galaxies. All right, there's nothing I like more than space. So let's blow something up here.
Let's blow something up here.
If there was a program for volunteers to go into space with like 100% chance of dying from death by space, I would be first in line. If they needed brave volunteers or stupid volunteers, I would be there so fast.